I come in, sir?
Please come, Shubham.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please take a seat, Shubham.
Thank you, sir.
So, Shubham, tell the panel about yourself, your academic qualifications, your work experience, if any, and your main hobbies.
Sir, my name is Shubham. I was born in Madhubani, Bihar. I have done my schooling till class 10 from Vidya Vihar Residential School, Purnia, Bihar. I have done my plus 2 from DPS Bokaro. Sir, I graduated in 2021 from Hansraj College with an honors degree in computer science. Since then, I have been preparing for UPSC. Sir, my hobbies include reading books and articles about geopolitics, quizzing, watching travel and food blogs, and sir, discussing tactics used in cricket.
So, Shubham, tell me 3 reasons. You're from Bihar.
Yes, sir.
Tell me 3 reasons why you would not call Bihar as a Bimaru state now, and tell 3 reasons why you still think that Bihar is a Bimaru state.
Sir, to answer the first question, 3 reasons why Bihar is not a Bimaru state. Sir, first, because of the economic growth rate, which has been above national average around 12%. Sir, second, because of the cultural richness, a state also has to go beyond economy, which also include culture. Sir, third has been the contribution in the labor market, where Bihar has young population and has contributed to the labor market. Sir, to the second question, why Bihar is still a Bimaru state, sir, it ranks on the last of every parameter such as SDG India index or the HDI index. Sir, second, in terms of per capita income, it is on the last position, that is 50,000 per capita income. Sir, in terms of third, sir, social indicators such as health, education is still lagging below the national average.
Okay, good. So you have mentioned that you like to read articles on geopolitics. Now,
Yes,
which region, geopolitics, can you tell one of your favorite subjects? Which region, which area, what exactly have you read these days or seen or articles you have read? I can ask one question from that favorite,
So
subject.
recently, I read about the geoeconomics from the book Chip War by Chris Miller. It was about semiconductor and the current geopolitics over it.
Okay. So semiconductor, let me ask you, India needs a lot of semiconductor, right?
Yes.
Now, 2 things I would like to know. What efforts are being made by the government, central government, to see that all our requirement of semiconductor in the next 10 to 20 years is met?
Sir, to answer the question, sir, there are a lot of steps that the central government has taken. So first is the 76,000 crore scheme for the semiconductor, in which lot of global companies have been attracted, such as Vedanta Foxconn Venture or the ISMC Venture is in Bangalore. So second, the government is also having a body of semiconductor experts through India Semiconductor Mission to plan the future path. So third, it has invested in infrastructure such as electricity and water requirement, as well as for skilling of workers so that the workers are ready for the semiconductor manufacturing.
Good. Shubham, can you very briefly discuss the relations that India enjoys or has with SAARC countries at present?
Sir, if we go anti-clockwise from Afghanistan, recently we don't have a working relationship with Afghanistan because of the Taliban rule. So coming to Pakistan, we don't have a good relationship because of the state terrorism that the Pakistan employs. So moving to Sri Lanka, we have a good relationship both economically and culturally, and we have been helping them through the economic crisis. Coming to Maldives, sir, we have a good relationship with Maldives, and we have extended a lot of line of credit and infrastructure projects such as Great Mali Connectivity Project. Sir, if we look at the Bangladesh and India relation, they have recently celebrated 50 years of the cooperation, so they have a good relationship, but a lot of issues can be dealt with in a better way. Moving to Nepal, there has been political change with Prachanda as the PM. So we have to manage our expectations with Nepal and see how the relationship develop. Sir, with Bhutan, we do have a very good working relationship. Sir, in Myanmar, we have unofficial dialogue with the Myanmar junta with the recent visits of our foreign secretary. But we are not condemned the military junta, but at the same time, we are also promoting democracy there, sir.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Shubham, have you ever heard about driverless train or metro and engineless train running in India?
Sir, I have heard about the first driverless metro. So, according to my knowledge, it is on the pink line or magenta line. I'm not sure.
Okay, so in India these are.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Not heard about the second one, sir.
Okay, about engineless train.
Yes.
You might have heard engineless train. Train 18, is it not engineless?
So I'm not aware.
It is because it is having self-propelled coaches.
I will read that,
Okay.
sir. Thank you.
So train 18 or Vande Bharat. Anyway, cryptocurrency, pros and cons, and what in your views, whether at all we should go for cryptocurrency?
Sir, coming to the pros of cryptocurrency, it is based on the blockchain technology, so there is a lot of security in cryptocurrency. So second, it reduces the charges in inter-country money transfer. So third, it bodes well for the privacy because a lot of data about cryptocurrency is not available on the public platforms. So coming to the cons, it is based on speculative assets and it does not have an underlying asset. So it can be used for money laundering and terrorism financing. So third, sir, the scaling has been an issue because cryptocurrency takes a lot of time. It can only have 10 to 12 transactions per second.
Okay, Indira Point. Have you ever heard? Indira Point.
Yes, sir. It's the southernmost point of India, which have been submerged according to my knowledge, sir.
Okay, which is submerged.
Yes, sir.
Achha. Blockchain technology, how can this help in reducing corruption and bring about transparency in the public delivery system?
Sir, through the proof of work requirement of blockchain, every transaction can be traced on the blockchain network. So we can have a data about who initiated the transaction and where the money or even any kind of transaction have taken place. So through this we can reduce corruption because of the transparency, sir.
So distributed ledger, we can say. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is having distributed ledger. Okay, 3D printing. What do you mean by? And which is the largest 3D printed building of the world?
Sir, 3D printing, according to my knowledge, is additive printing in which a product is printed through computer-aided design, sir. Sir, second question, sir, I am not sure.
Anyway, 7 bills were passed by both the houses of the parliament. Though one house passed 9 bills, but the number of bills which were passed by both the houses of the parliament in the session, this winter session, so these were in 7 in number. Okay, can you name some of them?
Sir, Wildlife Amendment Bill was passed.
Wildlife Amendment नहीं क्या है exact? Wildlife
Amendment.
Anyway, one. What else? Good.
Sir, Maritime Privacy Bill was passed. Sir, 2 constitutional orders were passed.
Yeah, constitutional order related with which ministry?
Sir,
And what was those constitutional orders?
so it was of inclusion of some communities in SC list.
Okay, so we can say the Constitution SC and ST Order Amendment Bill
Yes.
for second and fourth.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, Energy Conservation Bill.
Sir, that's all I can remember, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Shubham,
Yes, sir.
you are from Madhubani, Bihar.
Yes, sir.
So Madhubani paintings, how can we use Madhubani paintings to promote soft power?
Sir, Madhubani painting can be used uh, in two ways, sir. First, as an economic soft power, in which a lot of products based on Madhubani painting can be displayed worldwide. So, second, in terms of cultural connect, where a lot of intrigue, lot of tourist potential can be generated, so that people from all over the world visit Madhubani to buy Mithila paintings. We also have Mithila Museum in Japan, so we can leverage that to bring East Asian communities to Bihar Madhubani, sir.
You have opted for IAS as number 2 and IFS as number 1.
Yes, sir.
So can you give specific reasons for your choice? What is it that drives you to IFS?
So there are basically two reasons, sir. First is my interest, which align with the IFS, that is reading about geopolitical stuff. So second, I think, sir, current international order is uncertain with rise of India. So I think in future there will be lot of exciting and challenging tasks that I as a diplomat would do for India's national interests, sir.
Can you tell me the pillars of India's foreign policy?
So India's foreign policy, according to the Minister of External Affairs, has transformed into a realist policy, which focuses on national interest and strategic autonomy. So we also place our neighborhood first through neighborhood first policy, as well as we have an Act-East policy for economic and political engagement with East Asia. So we also have some idealistic values such as Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam or as a leader of global South, sir.
Okay. Purnia, also you have been to Purnia.
Yes, I studied there, sir.
You have studied in Purnia. Okay. Now, if you are posted in Purnia as DM and you are informed that there is an illegal arms factory in Purnia, how will you go about in catching all the criminals there?
So can I take a few seconds?
Yes.
Sir, first I would gather all the knowledge about the running factory, about who supplies that, where the supplies goes to, and who finances that product, or whether there is a political or mafia backing or not. Based on that data, I will collaborate with all the agencies, even central agencies such as IB, CBI, as also state agency. After having a foolproof plan, I will first take state government into confidence and have a good police force, so that we can go there and catch them in the act, so that we have a good proof to convict them, sir.
Do you know the provisions of law under which you will take this action? Which act you will apply in catching illegal arms factory and booking the people?
Sir, if my knowledge is correct, there is a Gangster Act in Bihar.
Okay, anyway, read about it.
Okay, sir.
Illegal Arms Act. Two quick questions, three in fact. You are interested in quizzing.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, 21, if you were to write only in terms of 2, how will you write? You can use different operations.
So I'm not
No
able
problem,
to
no
think.
problem. Brexit, was it a mistake?
Second, in hindsight, it was a mistake, sir. So because England has not been able to reap the benefits that it thought it would in terms of economic growth. As we have seen, this GDP growth has plummeted. Also in terms of immigration and other benefits, sir.
Ukraine war. Do you see any end to the war in near future, and how do you think it can end?
So I do see an end in a medium term, around say 1 or 2 year, with Ukraine winning the war, or Russia surrendering, or having some negotiated end to the war.
Thank you, sir. Well, Shubham, you are from Bihar. Nowadays, whenever we are talking of climate action, climate mitigation, one of the very important discussion points or decision point is just energy transition. Just energy transition. So, what do you understand by this, and how it is relevant, particularly for Bihar?
Sir, according to my understanding, just energy transition takes into account all stakeholders, so that no one gets left behind, and we convert to renewable energy, providing benefits to all. So in terms of Bihar, we are dependent on the coal power, so we have to take all the workers related in the coal mines, when we move to more renewable energy.
Yeah, good. Now, you see, Bihar has got the lowest per capita agricultural land holding as per 2015-16 agricultural census. It is less than 1 acre. So, suppose you are district collector of one of the districts in Bihar. So, how would you enhance the farmer's income? Taking that particular average in mind, the land holding average.
Sir, first I would like to work with the land constraints through the formation of FPOs. Sir, second, I would also have land leasing act in place, so that 2-3 farmers can lease the land and collectively take agriculture. Sir, thirdly, I would say increase more cash crops, so that from the limited lands, a lot more returns are increased. So fourth, I would have more intensive agriculture on the small piece of land, so that returns are more, sir.
You will go for more intensive agriculture or integrated agriculture? Which would be better strategy?
Say intensive would be better in the short term for economic gains, but for ecological sustainability, integrated agriculture would be better.
Okay, so it will be a combination of both, or you would focus only on intensive?
For the short term to raise the income, I would go for intensive agriculture.
Okay. Now, my next question is also from Bihar. What about your prohibition policy? Of course, there were some mid-course corrections carried out last year. So, what is the current situation, particularly in the light of last month's huge tragedy?
So there have been some challenges in enforcement of prohibition policy, but if I go by my personal experience of living in Bihar, there have been very significant reduction in the availability of alcohol in public places, but at the same time we can easily get alcohol in private spaces because of smuggling, black marketing, etc. So I would say, sir, enforcement should be strengthened with more patrols on the border, because a lot of alcohol is moved through the porous border. At the same time, we can crack down on the mafias who run the illicit factory, which leads to huge tragedy, sir.
Do you support the government of Bihar decision not to give any compensation to the people who died of during that tragedy?
No, sir, because in the act itself there is a provision of providing compensation to those who die of the illicit liquor. Also, sir, they are the victims, not the perpetrators, so they should be given, sir, compensation.
My last question, Shubham, you said that while answering one question on our relationship with our neighboring countries, you said that we are not having any working relationship with the Taliban regime right now. So, do you think that we should engage with them diplomatically, particularly in the light of our strategic and security interests?
So, according to me, yes, the India should engage, but informally, like we have a technical mission there, so that we can convey to the moderate factions of Taliban of what our concerns are, what our strategic objectives are, and try to raise up the moderate factions and towards the hardline factions. So yes, sir, we can have strategic relationship, but less sort of official relationships, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I would like to talk upon geography. So, can you talk about geography as an advantage to India? Secondly, also talk about geography as a disadvantage to India.
Sir, answering the first question as an advantage, sir, there are a lot of mineral resources in India which help in the economic development. Sir, second is the spatial location where it is situated at the head of Indian Ocean, through which all the most of the sea lane passes. Sir, third, in terms of climate, we have a very pleasant subtropical climate because of the Himalayan frontier. Sir, fourth, in terms of natural resources, we have a lot of natural resources in terms of rivers and fertile soil for agriculture. So these are the advantages. So in terms of disadvantages, so we don't have a lot of strategic minerals such as uranium or bauxite or lithium, which are critical minerals. So second, we have a very less integrated region with our neighbors because South Asia is a least connected region. So third, in terms of our frontiers, we have contested frontiers because there is a lack of demarcation because of very difficulty in traversing them. So.
Okay. I would like you to compare Indian economy with the economy of China as of present times.
Sir, India is around $3.7 trillion economy, whereas China is $17 trillion economy. So in terms of composition of economy, Russia is more focused on exports and investment-led GDP growth. China is focused more on investment and export, whereas India is more focused on consumption-led growth, with 55% of our GDP is based on consumption. So also, sir, growth rate has been higher in China through 1990s and 2000 compared to India, which helped the China to grow. Sir, also, sir, China is more linked to the global value chains compared to India.
Okay.
GDP 8%, China का हमारा growth.
Sir, China's growth is around 2%, where India is around 7%, sir. Yes.
Okay, Shubham, Supreme Court recently gave verdict on demonetization. Can you elaborate on the same?
Sir, the Supreme Court and on the split majority upheld the demonetization. One judge dissented. She said that the procedure were not followed, that there should have been a law, but the majority judgment upheld the decision. But I think, sir, that the case itself should have not gone to Supreme Court because it was an executive decision and the separation of power should be respected.
Okay, thank you, Shubham. I pass on to Chairman.
Shubham, tell me, give your views about and analyze how aviation sector in India is performing.
Sir, we are the third largest domestic market in terms of civil aviation. We have, as we saw recently, we have reached the pre-pandemic level of domestic flyers. But at the same time, we do not have indigenous technology in terms of aircraft manufacturing or maintenance, repair, and overall facilities. We do have a lot of potential to grow these, and the government support is required. At the same time, sir, competition is also saturated with a lot of players not making profit, such as Indigo or even Air India has been making losses. So there can be improvement in the business model, sir.
So Shubham, now we have covered the subjects that we wish to. The last question could be from a topic or subject from your DAF. In case we haven't covered any aspect of your DAF, you will have to name that in case you think that we have left out something.
Sir, cricket hobby was left. Discussing tactics used in cricket.
Tactics in cricket. So you play cricket?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Shall I ask one? If you
Uh-huh.
permit? Okay. So I would like to know your opinion on the Mankad mode of dismissal.
Sir, I do support Mankad as a form of dismissal. The stigma around Mankad has to be reduced because it is according to the rule. Because MCC has changed the nomenclature of Mankad to the runout, so we should be have more acceptable as a form of dismissal. But at the same time, I don't have problem with batsmen taking a start. But at the same time, bowlers are free to run them out. They both have to take the risk and considering the rewards.
But your answer is a diplomatic answer.
Yes.
It is not a yes or no.
So I do support Mankad as a
Support.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, all right, the honorable member has asked you a question from this hobby. Are you satisfied?
yes, sir.
Okay. So, Shubham, thank you. You may proceed for some time and then we'll.
May I come in, sir?
Aye, please come. So, Shubham, how do you think you have performed today?
So I think the conversation was nice. I enjoyed the conversation.
So did we. So it was a very interesting conversation, and especially after seeing your confidence, your range of knowledge, the depth of knowledge, you were able to field a variety of questions and fielded very well. And you looked comfortable. You were smiling. You were conversing in the right manner instead of just question and answer. So from all angles, the panel has found your performance very, very well. And I don't think there are too many points to suggest, but still, before I hand over to other members, just one point I wanted you to check. You covered Myanmar also in SAARC.
Yes, sir.
Is Myanmar part of SAARC?
No, sir.
So just be careful about it. Anything?
नथिंग मच टू सजेस्ट, बस एक बार कॉन्फिडेंट थे आप, कॉन्फिडेंट रहना है, ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं होना है, और भी अच्छे से पढ़िए. नो नेक्स्ट चांस, दिस ईयर ओनली यू विल हैव टू कम्पीट फॉर योर फर्स्ट चॉइस.
Yes, sir.
तो इस टाइम को भी अच्छे से यूटिलाइज करिए टिल 6 Feb. हाँ, 5th Feb, 6 को तो हो ही जाना है. और उस दिन का न्यूज़पेपर जरूर पढ़ना.
Yes, sir.
दो पॉइंट्स मैंने आपसे पूछा था एंड ऑफ वॉर, और उसमें आपने तो निष्कर्ष बतला दिया कि यूक्रेन विल विन इन मिड टर्म अराउंड 2 years. वो सवाल नहीं था. सवाल ये था कि एंड ऑफ वॉर आपको क्या लगता है कब होगी, प्रोसीजर के बारे में बतलाना था. एंड यू कुड हैव प्रोबेबली कवर्ड रोल दैट इंडिया कैन प्ले इन दिस एंटायर प्रोसेस. नोबडी कैन प्रिडिक्ट व्हाट विल हैपन, राइट? So don't predict. Simply talk about ongoing war, about the efforts, about PM's statement that what he said. There's no
Not
time
enough.
for war.
Yes.
So world is now looking at India for using its strength. So थोड़ा सा वहाँ मुझे लगा कि आप एकदम से आपने एक स्टैंड ले लिया, because then you can land yourself in trouble.
Yes.
The moment you say Ukraine will win, and who has seen tomorrow? Okay, you can go logically step by step as to how it can be reached. And number 2 was this mental question, because you have written quizzing. So let me ask you another question. Can you make a square whose area is same as that of a circle?
Sir, quizzing is not related to the maths. It's more about GK or.
No, it's all right.
So I'm not good in mental maths.
So you missed out on that simple arithmetic.
Yes, sir.
सोचिएगा.
Please, yeah. Well, I have just mentioned in this sheet also that just maintain the tempos, today's tempo.
Yes.
You are very good. Your information vastness as well as depth, as Chairman sir has said, it was absolutely fine. Only just very, very small point from my side, that in one of the answers you said, you started with to answer this question. To answer this question, so you don't have to say that. Otherwise, from my side, absolutely fine.
शुभम, दो छोटी सी चीज है. इंट्रोडक्शन में आपने स्कूल के बारे में 2 बार बोला, एक बार 10th के बारे में भी और 12th के बारे में भी. आप सीधा ग्रेजुएशन पे आ जाइए. स्कूल को अवॉइड कीजिए, आपको बोलना ही नहीं है, अच्छा रहेगा थोड़ा सा, इसको अवॉइड कीजिए। दूसरा, इकोनॉमी वाले क्वेश्चन में इंडिया चाइना में प्रेजेंट स्टेटस बोला था, तो पैनल मेंबर को बीच में इंटरप्ट करके पूछना पड़ा था प्रेजेंट इकोनॉमी। आप थोड़ा सा हिस्ट्री में चले गए थे, मे बी आपने शायद सुना नहीं होगा। ठीक है, आप एकदम कंपेयर 1990 से कंपेयर करने लग गए थे, अदरवाइज इट वाज वेरी गुड, कीप इट अप।
Shubham, any questions you have from us? आराम से करो, we are not in a hurry.
हाँ, we are not in a hurry.
Sir, I was told that I speak a bit fast and loud, sir.
Loud तो तुम बोलते हो शुभम, लेकिन I thought that this was your strength.
In fact, that was strength. I also felt that you are so clear.
लेकिन वो पिच थोड़ा कम
थोड़ा सा
हो जाए तो ठीक है।
Was it an effort from your side to speak louder, or was it a natural way
Sir,
of?
I have given a lot of the mocks. It comes as a natural, sir. I don't
I
have any
think
control
don't
over it.
ignore it. Just be
बाकी
natural.
Be natural.
हाँ, मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा
Just be natural. What else?
Also, sir, I was said that I look stiff. I don't have eye contact with all the members, sir.
You look confident. You look confident. Again, I will say, be as you were today.
सर पिच पे मैं एक बात करना चाहूंगा सर कि बोर्ड में जो है ना डिस्टेंस जो है इतना ज्यादा नहीं होगा शायद, तो उस केस में ना आपका थोड़ा बोलना जो है तेज बोलना, थोड़ा सा मतलब कोई भी चीज देखिए जो मतलब नेगेटिव है उसको बेटर टू चेंज दैट।
Yes.
तो ये तो डिस्टेंस फिर भी है वहां पर, मुझे लगता है इससे भी कम से कम 1 या 2 फुट डिस्टेंस और कम होगा, तो उसमें आपका तेज बोलना कुछ मेंबर्स को अखर मतलब इट मे नॉट।
थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस कर लो,
Yes.
बट डोंट बी एक्स्ट्रा कॉन्शियस अबाउट दिस।
एवरी टाइम ध्यान उधर ही पड़ा रहेगा।
अरे मैंने ज्यादा तो नहीं जोर से बोल दिया, फिर हल्के हो गए, फिर एकदम जोर, तो वो एकदम से वो ऐसा चार्ट बनेगा।
अब इसे इसको प्रैक्टिस में ले आओ ना, तो आपका टाइम है 1 महीने से ज्यादा है आपका, तो उसी को प्रैक्टिस में ले, थोड़ा सा मतलब ज्यादा नहीं, सिर्फ 10% आप अपनी पिच को कम कर लीजिए।
Okay, sir.
What else?
These are.
So we have given you the best so far today.
आज के
71%.
Thank you, sir.
Which comes
You
to
are- you are-
197, 196.
You are young and very bright. With this performance, and if you have done your mains, how have you done
Sir,
mains?
it was good, sir. I answered all the questions.
This is the first time you appeared in the
Yes,
mains.
yes, sir.
Chalo, sure.